We go. Welcome, 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 everyone, to the Women's Empower Network. We have another exciting interview today. Welcome. And it's Neda.
Nada. Yes,
Neda.
perfect.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, we're excited to get to know about you a little bit more and a little bit about your story and journey. If you could tell us about that and what led you to what you're passionate about today.
Yeah, of course. I had a long journey mainly with energy healing. And let's just in a summary, when I started in my childhood, I used to do a lot of uh, uh, astral projecting and understanding, kind of like feeling through energy. And like it just happened like naturally, didn't really think much about it. But then it stopped when I got older. And then my dad passed away. And it was very sudden, and we were very close. And from there, I wanted to connect with him. I never really was spiritual necessarily, never considered myself spiritual, but I wanted to connect with him and do the astral traveling again on demand this time. And from there, I got introduced to Wayne Dyer. So I was reading books from Wayne Dyer to Louise Hay to Hay House Radio and all the wonderful authors of Hay House Radio. And got introduced to energy healing. I got kind of sidetracked from my original objective. So I got into energy healing and I loved the feeling of it. And I got my first certification. And from there, it was like the second, third, and I got into that path a lot. At the same time, I was introduced to the shadow work with Debbie Ford, the late Debbie Ford. And I love that too, because it just helped me understand a lot of things about myself. So I got into the coaching path as well, and the healing. So it's kind of in parallel. And I'm a certified coach. I got my certification and I started working with both energy healing and coaching. But I had a job, so I was in and out. It wasn't really focused on it, but working on myself a whole lot during that. And and so that inkling of doing something different than a job, than a 9 to 5, just I always felt it's not for me, but I didn't know what else to do. It was the coaching was a side thing. So until 2023, when my body was like, nope, that's it. And I got like health issues that nobody could figure out, and had to go to multiple doctors and holistic medicine practitioners and things like that. And until I made a lot of changes to kind of slow things down and for me to get better. And I realized that also the mental health, even though I have been working on myself a lot, on my physical body, on my energy healing, the therapy is something I needed because of a trauma. So after getting that therapy, I went from a hermit to like a complete, like I want to be with people, I want to be around people, I want to just in person. And I used to avoid people a lot for the last 20 years, just completely after my dad passed away. So that whole thing was a journey. 2024 was transformational for me. I decided to start my coaching, and I stumbled upon the idea and the realization that all the energy healing I have been doing, it was working, but it was working on a layer of me. The until the physical, I involved my physical body and mental layer, or that's it's only then that huge changes started happening. It was a breakthrough. And that's when that's my business right now. That's why I'm kind of passionate about it, because I want all women who are starting the businesses or want to kind of have an business, a purpose aligned business to regain their self-worth as I did. That was my path, just getting um, to value who I am, not necessarily define myself by the traumas and everything that happened in the past. I stopped making myself wrong all the time and blaming myself for things. I fell in love. I took a face yoga certification, a holistic face yoga certification from the face yoga method. And that was, they talked about the mindset, they talked about food, they talked about belief systems and everything. And that was just put everything together for me. So, and I started now when I look at my face and look at myself instead of criticizing my face. And now I realize how much I overcome. So I was able with the method, I call it the reflection revenue method, to switch the whole mindset and switch the physicality and establish triggers for myself when I every time I think of myself or look at myself, I have accomplished a lot and I start from there. I brought my own self-value, and from there I was able to all be aligned with my purpose. I couldn't even see it before. I was just fumbling around like this is it. Kind of I'm in the vicinity of it, but I'm not there. And I didn't know how to get there until I completely filled myself with myself. And just I was able to have the courage and to speak up, to state my opinions, to speak to people, to connect with people, and to find this great revelation that kind of changed me and changed like okay, this is it. I want women to help women to embody their self-worth, really really embody their self-worth. And it's amazing what happens after that. It's yeah, your confidence is gonna just skyrocket. It's a rocket. It's just your connections, it's just everything is gonna happen organically. That's the core nobody told me about. And that's the core, like they can never connected it with niche or purpose or anything like that. It was like the self-worth and then the niche. Two different things, confidence, power, like two different. But now I just see it. I just see the purity of it, like the path. And yeah, this is what I love doing now. This is what I love talking about a lot. I'm gonna stop.
That's okay. No, I'm excited because I can feel it, and because there's a lot of us who have gone to that journey and pulled back the curtain, so to speak, right? Because it's a we were talking before we came live that it's a global thing. It's a external conditioning from the
Yes.
marketing to the roles that we play to the mindsets of the world,
Yeah.
um, has robbed us of that worthiness and that value of who we are beyond our appearances or beyond our stories and our background. So I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you to be among us. So
Oh,
thank you for
thank
that.
you. Thank you. Thank you. And I just feel I was talking to somebody before we started talking in a meeting, and I we all feel like this shift that's happening right now is prime for that, for like for us to take back the power that we gave away to other
Yes.
people with the people pleasing. We're like trying to make everyone happy and all this kind of stuff. Just take it back and now do the service that you're here to do, that brings you joy, that provides fulfillment. This is the time to do that. It was like we're all needed based on our own stories and our unique, beautiful, like just life that we've always thought about. Oh, I did that. I'm guilty. Like I had like, that subconscious beliefs about thinking about our mistakes or thinking about the traumas or thinking about things, and just those stop us, bring us shame. But really converting all this to wisdom and beauty, and from there taking that and share it, share that wisdom and help other people with it. That's the uniqueness. That's part of the niche. So with that, an accountant is different than another accountant is different than another accountant. It's like it's when they bring their life, their purpose, people start connecting with them differently. So we won't compete based on price or based on like I want to be better than that person or that person, which is very degrading. It's always been very degrading to us and our value. So yeah, spirituality, I work with any woman. It doesn't matter that she have a spiritual practice, like necessarily for reading or healing, or not necessarily, as long as there's like a open to spirituality, because I do a ton of energy work with it, with the coaching.
What I'm hearing is like you help women step into the wholeness of who they already always were.
Yeah, and see it, recognize that, appreciate it in themselves. So once that's grounded, nobody can shake them to something else. That's the core. Yes, absolutely.
For me, the word I use is because I think about, I finally had to get to a point where I called BS on my stories that were limiting me. And once I stepped into owning my purpose and my power, it's like stepping into a slipstream. Doesn't mean that it's always easier, that there's not challenges, but
Yes.
when you, like you said, when they nobody can take that away from you once you're there. I love that you do this because like you said too, um we all give off a different, I think of it as a different energy
Yes.
signature, and so
Yes.
different people are attracted to you based on that energy signature. So it's an inclusiveness. It takes all of us. Like you said, it's not about competition or who's got, makes the most dollars or whatever. It's who you really resonate with. So I'm so grateful that you have been able to figure this out for yourself, and now are able to help other women. What would be like a piece of advice you would give someone who might still be struggling with that? Like you said, you had that, the spiritual piece, and then you had the, working on the personality, I'll call it.
Yeah. So it's on their own, if they want to work on their own without someone's help, journaling about specific questions and well, first putting everything they're feeling and everything they're thinking on paper is key. Is like putting it out there from, it's almost like a ritual, putting it from your psyche to the paper is a big step, is a huge step. So that's one thing. I personally use that as the physical part of the healing too, because it's writing in your with your hands, not on the computer kind of typing. There's a difference for some reason. A lot of people like experience that. So that's one thing. Another thing, after writing it down, actually what I do when I went on my own when no one is working with me is I take that paper, regardless if its grammar is good, not, doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna is gonna read it. I blow out all the feeling that I got from writing it. So all the tears, I'll just blow everything out in it and then either trash it. I like to burn it. I like to see fire. I like the fire of transmutation. This is like just a small exercise that someone can start doing. Meditation, a lot of people don't like it. I like meditation, but let's say, regardless how it is, walking meditation, it doesn't have to be sitting and closing your eyes. Being aware, like sit down in silence and being aware of the thoughts, that's a huge step. That's actually the first step before even writing it, because you won't be able to write anything before you're aware. So stop and just be aware of what is going on. If you can't, let's say people like women who are lacking in self-worth, um, a lot of time feel like they don't have enough value or not value. They're not the imposter syndrome, they call it. They
Uh-huh,
have
right.
that, like yeah, they have that. Instead of what I used to do is just do the energy work on it or push it aside, I'll just step into it and talk about it and feel through it and let the pen grow. Where did it come from? Who did I hear that from that I don't have enough information or I cannot do this or cannot? Because a lot of us, as you know, we just repeat what our parents say, even to themselves, not even to us, even to the, like we take them on, do we take it on? So awareness and just writing it down, I cannot stress it enough. The writing things down to seeing it outside of you is very, very important. And then, yeah, you can start doing that. My therapist challenged me so much. I mean, just she would not, other therapists before I worked with, once I get all like I'm crying or I get upset or I get nauseous a lot when I get upset. There's like, okay, that's fine. Just we'll pick it up next time, and we never do. But this one won't let me go. Like would not. Like if you want to throw up, there's a restroom, you can throw up. If you want to just like, but we're gonna finish this right now. We're gonna do this. And I loved her for it. I needed that so much because I was running away from all the feelings. So go into it. It's okay to cry. It's okay to throw up. It's okay to just yell and scream at it. It's okay to validate you because the emotions are valid. You have to value your emotions before you even value you. I mean, that is a huge part of you. So, yeah, challenge yourself. Just jump into it. Take that. It takes courage.
It does. It's and like you said, and that's this is what I love about this period of time now. You know, so many of us were solopreneurs and on this journey alone. And but I think it's a time of speeding up that to be able to work with somebody like you that has been there that can speed up the process and create a safe space and understand truly what's happening in the moment and be there with you. I think it's beautiful, and I'm so grateful that you do what you do now because we need it. We need it
Thank
now.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I love to do that. And yeah, without the trial and error that I went through for years and years, a couple of decades, probably trying to put myself back together and fix myself and feel it. I'm finally, I can't even describe. I mean, I'm grateful. So yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I can help.
Is there anything else you want to share today?
Uh, I I want to say that my wish, I talked a lot about like the value, the self-value and uniqueness and stuff. But more than all of that, I wish to see more collaboration and voice for women, like authentic voice, collaboration and connection. And I have been I created a new networking event that's called Networking Breakthrough that combines one-on-one um, breakout rooms and a little bit of visualization while I do energy work and talk about business, but really authentic connection. That's what I'm going for. So we just have an amazing gathering a couple of days ago on Tuesday. I had it on Tuesday, and I'm just going to do it every month. So I would love if women can join us for that. Again, connection, collaboration, and voice and authenticity. Oh my God, I'm just craving that. So yeah, that's all. That's for now.
No, that's beautiful. Well, we'll be sure to put above this interview the links to get in touch with Neda, and when you're going to have that next event. I guess we could call it an event, because it is. I mean, knowing that we're really, all the same, you know, there's not more to say about it, right? It's just when you know. And so you want to bring along as many women as possible who are ready to step up and know that it does take courage, but that you're not alone and you have the support of people who have been there and walked the talk and have helped other people do it. So this has been absolutely wonderful. I'm so excited that we've connected and that you can share your gifts and attract who's ready, that connects with you, because that's really important. It's not about any one of us, like you said, it takes all of us. Um, so is there any
Yeah.
parting words of wisdom that you would like to share before we go today?
Just please have the courage to start moving, to get out of hiding, whether you do it yourself. It's better if you do it with the support, as you mentioned, the support of a community, like an authentic community, not just a community for business, of course, because we're talking about business owners. And just or reach out, but please start moving. Really, it's really, really important right now, more than ever. And with there is creating a business is becoming simpler at this point, and anyone can do it. But also imagine a business that just gives you life, gives you nourishment, gives you fulfillment, that you don't feel that you're actually working hard. And that's what we all need, not just you, all of us need all of us. Yeah,
It
that's
does,
all.
because we all have our each own unique story and journey, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's so beautiful. Well, Nada, thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate you and what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for watching and who are you watching. And yeah, hopefully we'll our paths will cross sometime in
Absolutely.
Facebook.